Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're running a really special advisory briefing, and I'm speaking directly to the startup founders and executive leadership teams tuning in right now. The AI industry we're looking at going into 2026, it's fundamentally different from the market most of us were planning for just a year ago. What started out as this frantic, wild race to just integrate large language models has radically compressed. We are now in this high-pressure environment where your execution speed, your operational adaptability, and your strategic positioning are quite literally the only things determining your survival. Let's dive into it.
You know, there's this classic Peter Drucker quote that really hits the nail on the head here. The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence itself, but to act with yesterday's logic. This is the ultimate trap for AI founders today. If you're relying on traditional software playbooks, you are on the absolute fastest route to obsolescence. The days of simply, sprinkling a little AI feature onto an existing product and expecting a massive valuation, those days are completely over. Yesterday's logic will absolutely sink you. We need a new playbook to actually build sustainable operational intelligence platforms.
So, here's that executive playbook. We're going to cover 5 actionable pillars today: the 2026 reality check, the shift to orchestrated agents, smart infrastructure and ecosystems, trust and financial discipline, and finally, agile teams and operations.
All right, pillar number 1, the 2026 reality check, and the death of the traditional SaaS cycle.
Think about the traditional SaaS model for a second. Companies historically had literally years to mature their products, refine their positioning, and just kind of coast on these comfortable growth windows. But in our 2026 AI reality, no way. Brand new global competitors can pop up within weeks using the exact same foundational models that you have access to. AI has to be an embedded operational core now. Extreme iteration speed isn't just a neat little growth advantage anymore, it is a strict survival requirement. Basically, you iterate fast or you face obsolescence before your product even hits the market.
And that really brings us to a critical concept: commoditization. General-purpose AI capabilities, they're everywhere now. To a customer, basic chatbots and generic AI assistants are entirely interchangeable. They don't care which one they use. This means simply branding yourself as AI-powered is definitely no longer enough to win. The real sustainable value has shifted completely away from just having access to a model. If you want to stand out, you have to pivot heavily toward deep workflow integration, proprietary operational data, and highly specialized, domain-specific intelligence.
Moving right along to Pillar 2, the shift to orchestrated agents, and moving beyond single model novelties.
So, to build a true operational intelligence platform, you have to fundamentally upgrade your core capabilities. We're not just doing single model prompts anymore, right? We're orchestrating multi-agent coordination. We are definitely not relying on basic session-based context that completely forgets who the user is the second they log off. We're building rigorous contextual memory management, and execution is the biggest piece. We are moving way past basic text responses into intelligent task routing that is deeply integrated right into a company's enterprise systems. This whole orchestration layer, that is your new competitive battlefield. Okay, Pillar 3. Smart infrastructure and ecosystems, or as I like to call it, selling the shovels.
Listen, no AI platform operates on an island anymore. The absolute smartest companies scaling up today, they aren't trying to fight the tech giants directly. That's a losing game. Instead, they're building intelligently on top of them. You've got hyperscalers and frameworks providing incredible foundations. There's Microsoft Azure for cloud-native deployment, AWS Bedrock for enterprise orchestration, Google Vertex AI for the heavy multimodal infrastructure, and LangChain for stringing together operational workflows. The real-world advice here is pretty simple. Do not build raw infrastructure from scratch. Just don't do it. Build highly specialized, industry-specific operational layers onto these existing environments. The platforms that actually scale are the ones that seamlessly hook into where the enterprise already lives and breathes.
Which brings us to Pillar 4, trust and financial discipline and the economics of survival. 0. Literally 0. That is your margin for error when managing high inference costs in 2026. The economic pressure of scaling these intelligent systems is just immense right now. If you lack financial discipline, like if you're ignoring smart model routing, caching strategies, or local inference opportunities, you are going to burn out incredibly fast. The market just doesn't reward pure growth narratives anymore. It strictly, ruthlessly values sustainable operational execution. But hey, cheap operations mean absolutely nothing if enterprises don't trust you. Without trust, you're going to hit massive adoption brick walls. So, you need a phased approach to maturing your AI operations here. Step 1, lock down data privacy and implement strict access controls. Step 2, implement highly accurate contextual retrieval while actively, verifiably mitigating bias. And step 3, ensure complete operational observability and auditability. Trust is no longer a nice-to-have feature on a roadmap. As global regulations expand, trust is your absolute ultimate enterprise moat.
And finally, we hit Pillar 5, agile teams and operations, and how to unlock exponential output with lean teams. The relationship between the size of your team and what your organization can actually achieve has completely transformed. It's a whole new ballgame. The most successful AI-native startups are essentially drinking their own champagne. They're using their own orchestrated AI across their internal workflows. We're talking software development, customer ops, complex analytics, decision support, the whole shebang. By aggressively embedding automation internally, these incredibly lean teams are achieving the operational output of massive traditional companies, but with just a fraction of the headcount. Strong strategic leadership combined with intelligent internal systems, that is the blueprint for the next decade for sure.
As we bring this strategic briefing to a close, I want to leave you with a tasteful bit of irony. In a gold rush, the smartest move is not digging for gold, it's selling shovels. The real winners of the 2026 AI market are not going to be the ones chasing raw intelligence, mostly because that intelligence is becoming totally abundant and commoditized. The real winners are the ones balancing their budgets, mastering their ecosystem positioning, and providing the deep operational integration tools that these businesses desperately need.
So I want to end on a bit of a provocative question, and I want every single founder and executive watching to seriously ask themselves this right now. Are you building an isolated AI feature or a resilient operational intelligence platform? Because it is purely an execution competition now. Take these 5 pillars, go reevaluate your roadmap based on the harsh realities of 2026, and start building for survival and scale. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.